hear. I can't hear.
Everything's working on my end too. I can't hear you, but everything's great on my end.
Oh, you know what? My mic was off. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Um, yep, it was. Come back in. So you know what? It's been that kind of week. It's been that kind of week. Hey, hi, everybody. How's it going? Now you can hear me. That's fantastic. That must means that y'all really didn't care what I was saying because I was saying some really good stuff here. It was excellent. It was fantastic. Come on back, Trey. We'll start this over, man. But anyway, yeah. So let's move back into it. Basically, what I was saying was this: Cowboys win. It's not a lucky win. It's not a weak win. It is a win. Okay, that's all. It's a win, and that's what you want to see. Um, and happy to see it because we needed the win. We could not have gone into the bye 3-3. You had to go in at 4-2. Again, what I was saying is if you saw or if you said, hey, you'll get there, um, you'll have the win, or you have a 4-2, um, you'll be 4-2, then yes, that'd be awesome. Hey, there's Trey Collis. Good to have you back again. And I turned on the mic.
I was
It's
like,
like, yeah,
everything's working. I'm hearing that
no,
song.
everything. I can hear you. You sound great. And I said, well, but normally I would see my green light flashing every time I talk. And I just happened to glance over when she said that. I said, yeah, my mic is not on. So I've been talking here for 10 minutes. So that's awesome. But no one said anything. But that's okay. That kind of goes to show you how much they revere what I say. Uh, so
If you
here
say
we
it, it
go.
goes off.
Yeah, there you go. Funny. Basically, what we're saying was this: Cowboys are 4-2 at the beginning of the season. We would have said if they're 4-2, that we're in a good place, right? That makes sense to be 4-2, even though it really should be 5-1, especially with that Arizona loss. But 4-2 will still take
Oh yeah.
because you figure one of those games would be a quote unquote trap game or a game that it's just one of those weeks where it was just better. The San Francisco game, I think we kind of knew uh, going in, it could have been a push. Excuse me, right? But um, again, 4-2 going into the bye. Offensive line is back healthy, so for the most part, you've got some dings and things going on. But yeah, we've got to be a lot better on offense. And the defense, here's the question that I had that I posed that apparently no one heard is are we seeing that this defense has taken a step back? They're not as good as they were, let's say, the first couple of weeks. Is Diggs that big of a integral piece of this defense that they're not as I won't say dominant, but not as formidable as they were?
Well, hard to say. Like you get
Mm,
tape. Like you get tape. Diggs is the big part missing because then you have two shutdown corners where you can play man to man on the outside. You don't have to worry about them too, and then you can move all the pieces around. You can't do that with Bland, right? Like you
right.
can't. Like you kind of have to help off with the safety a little bit, so therefore makes it uh more challenging, I guess you could say, for the defense in
Hmm.
that aspect. But I mean, the defense did their part for the most part last night.
Yeah.
Uh, I honestly think the 49er game, I just think that I mean, no one is better than Kyle Shanahan in the first 15 plays scripted.
Yeah.
Like, like they were going to score, but then when our defense goes three and out, three and out, three and out, punt, three and like, you know what I mean? Like, why am I
Hmm.
going to bust my ass for if we're just going to come back out here again? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I think that was just a bad game. I think they did take a step back with Diggs out, but at the same time, we're 4-2.
Hmm.
Dan Quinn and I trust. It's gonna be. We're gonna find out against the Rams with the two-headed wide receiver monster that the Rams have. We'll get into that a little later, but because
Yeah.
you have cutback and then you have Puku, Chia, I don't know his name.
Puka Nakua.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and he did not have a good game this past week, as a matter of fact.
Oh, it's because I had him in underdogs. That's why.
Must have been, and he's also on my team, so on my fantasy. So I watched that for sure. But no, the thing that I was also saying was, we've talked about the rushing and how McCarthy kept saying at the beginning of the season and in training camp, and even after Kellen Moore was gone, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball. But your leading rusher was Dak Prescott with 40 yards. Right. So the question for me and for everyone else is, okay, we're trying to run, but yet, Dak's throwing the ball 30 times a game. We're talking about this rushing. There's 26 rushing attempts, so it's about half and half, which is not bad. But when you look at the total yardage, you're looking at 53 yards rushing, and it begs to say, well, wait, what? No, I'm sorry, 96 yards rushing. It was 96 yards rushing, which we say 53, and we'll talk about defense, but on the offensive side, are they abandoning it too early? Are they? Is that a line issue? I know some people have talked about the O line. What do you think is going on here?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's Mike McCarthy because the offensive line is bread and butter, but now that he's calling plays, he can't spend that much time on the offensive line adjusting and doing things like that as
Right.
well. Tony Pollard, I love him to death, but I'm starting to question, can he be an every down back like Zeke Elliott was? It's kind of like, I don't know if he can carry the workload like that as well. And then also your offensive line is not doing a good job. I mean, you have beef up there, but they're getting older too. Like Zach Martin's not a young guy anymore. Tyron Smith. I mean, you have Tyler Smith, who's coming into his own, but this is basically his second game back from injury.
Yeah.
So it's still like
Yeah.
preseason mode for him. Then you have
Yeah.
the oddages in and out of lineup every freaking play, it seems like. So
Yeah. And supposedly his leg was hurt or something.
Yeah, he's been in and out of the last 3 games, so I don't.
Yeah.
But honestly, you might not like this, but Jerry, how bad do you want to win? Because there's a running back over there in Tennessee on his final year of his contract, and Tennessee sucks. That would help out.
What would you? But you got to have that question of what do you give up to go get him?
Second, third, fourth round. I don't care. Go get them. I don't give a crap. If you're in a win mode now, you got to be like the Rams, right? I don't care if you get the first round.
Yeah.
You want to go all in. Like the Rams went all. I would be more than happy to give up a first round. It means we have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl or at least getting to the NFC Championship game, like the Rams did a couple years ago, and then tanking or whatever the case may be. But Jerry wants to win now. You got to start looking at the trade because we're 2 weeks out, and there's also a receiver out there as well in Tennessee that's probably gonna get traded too, in Hopkins. So I'm just, how bad do you want to win, Jerry? They're out there, and you have the cap.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I think the for the receiver part, I actually think we're fine. Gallup is not a favorite of mine.
That's what I'm saying. I would trade Gallup for.
Yeah, but I think everyone knows about Gallup. I don't think you're going to get any kind of value. I understand what you're saying, though. Go ahead and get rid of him. You go ahead and trade him with some picks to just get him out there, and then you can try and go get D-Hop. We tried to get him prior when he was leaving Houston, if I'm not mistaken, and ended up going to Arizona, right? So I mean, we've put that out there.
Well, he wants to be a Cowboy because after Arizona, he was a free agent. He came by, and Jerry wasn't giving him money.
Yeah, and see that's the thing about it though. Jerry is not going to pay him, which is odd because you pay Gallup, you pay CD, which if you're going to make him the number one, fine, make him the number one. He has to get number one receiver money. I get that. The other thing too, though, is we have Pollard on a franchise tag this season. Next season we put him on another franchise tag because, again, looking at his stat sheet, it's not that great.
Well, you also got to remember he's also coming off a huge leg injury himself in the
He
playoffs
is.
against the 49ers. It's going to take him time to get back to his normal. But then again,
He
he's an every
is.
down back that he's not used to either. Like he's used
Correct.
that's the problem that lies, I think, right now too with him.
Correct. He is not an every down back. That was what was said about him before they were even thinking about moving Zeke out. Was that, yeah, don't know if he can, carry more than 25 times a game, or even 20, 22 to 23 carries a game is about where he is. So, this previous game, he had 15 carries, right? Um, and again, we're talking about pounding the ball, pounding the ball, pounding the ball, where, all right, if he's running 15 times, that means who else is running? Well, you have Donald, you have Dak, who ran 7 times, and again was your leading rusher. So
So it opens up the run game, though. That's what we've been begging for, is for him to run it, and look what happened.
yeah, it opens up the run game, but at the expense of, is Dak fully, well, can he run? Can he run? Let's just say that. Can he run? Yes, he ran 18 yards. I get that. Before you say I know it.
No.
Oh, Ryan. Shouldn't I got rid of OC?
I almost agree with that. I said
We
that
say that
last
now.
week. I said
We
that
say that
last
now.
week. I said that last week.
We didn't say it at the end of the season, though. We were happy that he
No.
was gone.
Yeah, but now we know, like, oh crap! Like, at least we're actually scoring points with him. Yeah, we could do the stupid foolishness,
Yes.
but at least we're actually scoring points with him. Man, but I don't know. Dallas defense shut up Kellen Moore and that high-powered offense that the Chargers.
They
had.
did.
There was
No,
over
and
30 points a game, and the defense. I mean, that's a good high. Herbert never. I mean, Herbert's basically the Dak Prescott, right, of the AFC.
Right.
He's going to cost you a game if throwing the ball in the
No,
fourth
no.
quarter.
No, they did. Listen, remember we talked about how this Dallas defense over the past many years could not stop anybody in the run game. They definitely did that. This past game. Let's see, I think Eckler only had like 26 yards or something like that. So yeah, they
Well, he was
stopped
on
it.
the comeback.
They also stopped McCaffrey. They stopped. I mean, look, they did the job that we've asked them to do when it comes to the rushing part. The passing was that.
I said, well, we're going to definitely find out in 3 weeks against Philly.
Yeah, we're going to find out in 3 weeks. Absolutely. And I think you still, obviously before we even get to Philly though, looking at the Rams, and we'll go to that here in a little bit, but staying here, when you look at like Brandon Cooks finally scored, he finally looked his way, finally got a touchdown. Let me ask this question. Does it bother? Not bother. Is it concern that CeeDee Lamb has not really been scoring this season?
No.
I think he has maybe 2 touchdowns this season?
I think he has 1.
Okay. That sounds right. 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think he only has 1. No,
Yeah.
because I mean, with Gallup struggling, they don't need they just pulled 2 blanket him pretty much all game. And Gallup's not going to score you a touchdown. We can't throw the ball downfield to Cook. So so is there?
See that?
The other receivers got to start doing the job to open CeeDee Lamb up. But CeeDee had a pretty good game yesterday too.
No, he did. He 417. But again, no touchdowns. 7 of 7 for targets. So he caught everything that was thrown to him. But again, still, when we look at this, and what's crazy is the second leading receiver was Tony Pollard. Of course, of that 61-yard romp that he had.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
5-yard
that definitely helps, right? But here's the thing that I didn't even realize. How about he was targeted 7 times?
Well, he's had another option. You can put him in the slot. You can use him in third down coverage. I mean, that's basically what he was doing at Memphis. That's what we used him for when Zeke was here.
Yeah.
Why not keep doing it?
Do you want to take a guess who had the most targets?
Gallup.
You want to guess the number? 10. Close. Very close. Very good. Look, man, you do your research. I love it. 10 targets.
I just watched the game.
You watch these. I watch these. I'm trying to give you a compliment here. You know what? You don't know crap, buddy. How about that? You don't know anything. You're just lucky. Like the Dallas Cowboys win, right? Isn't that right, Joe? I'm sorry, Coach.
Man,
But no, 10 targets.
that pisses me off. Never mind. Like everyone, oh, that wasn't a statement win. That wasn't a win. Oh, I'm sorry. We
It was a
still
win.
won. The
was a
Eagles
win.
lost to a crappy Jets team who we blew out. Jalen
And that-
Hurts had 4 turnovers. I know the Eagles had 4. He had 3 turnovers.
Yes.
Brock Purdy came back down to life. Yes, they missed a field goal, but like, oh, it's just a little hiccup. But when Dallas loses, oh no, it's
Well,
not-
because because we know that people hate Dallas,
and
and
I also think that's why I was kind of encouraged yesterday. They finally said screw it, right? Like they're going to talk about us if we win, bad. Like they were going to talk about us if we lose. Screw it.
Yeah.
Let's go out there and play our game. Exactly. That's the thing. That's what Dak Prescott did yesterday.
yeah, he looked
Better.
more comfortable in the rollouts, which
That's his thing.
he yes, I was going to say he's better when he moves. And there was a question of, well, how can you get him moving? And it's like, dude, you have scripted rollouts, bootlegs. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do that can keep him protected, but also can keep the defense guessing. I mean, I think that's the big thing too is, there's very little movement. And so they had some movement in this game. And then, of course, they go away from it. But there has to be something that happens over this bye week that moves them forward to say, you know what, this worked, this didn't work. Tank Lawrence, they actually said his name during the game. It's kind of nice. He made some plays. Mm-hmm. But Keenan Allen was open a lot. He was open a lot.
Keenan Allen's going to be open. He's one of the best receivers in the league.
Okay.
The best, but he's one of the best. He's the goat. He's open when he's not open. He can go up and get the ball. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that he is that good where he's going to be open. But that's where I'm saying you're missing a Diggs. You're missing because Bland can't do it. Like Bland's a ball hawk. Don't get me wrong. He can intercept that ball when it's on, but he can't do. He doesn't have the speed that Diggs did and the height that Diggs has to keep up with these receivers.
So that begs the question of, okay, can Dan Quinn then, knowing that he doesn't have Diggs for the rest of the season, is he not able to scheme a safety over for like a Keenan Allen, or be able to move or rotate the coverage towards Keenan Allen? Not saying that he didn't, but it didn't seem like he did. It seemed like, hey, this is our scheme and this is what we're going to run with. And we're going to play just as if Diggs was back there, and he's not. It's
yeah. I understand what you're saying, but you also need that you're paying that $high pass rush to get to the quarterback too, and not giving them that much time to throw it. And they did a litlittle bit better. Parsons had a big sack. But I think it's just a job. I trust Dan Quinn. I mean, a lot of performance, and because this was a Kellen Moore Bowl game, and we basically shut down that offense. I'm just be honest with
he
you.
did.
I mean, that was a big, 17 points, and they're out getting over 30 a game.
Yeah.
I mean, he did what he had to, but I understand what you're saying. It's like, I think that he's going to adjust to that. Look, because he's going to be studying. There's no bye week for him. I know that for a fact. He's going to be in the field room with his hat backwards and yelling and screaming at the TV.
Right.
And so,
yeah.
I'm not worried.
And I mean,
against the Rams. He's going to have to against the Rams, especially with the two-headed monster receivers that they have.
Yes. But, and that moves us into that second part of, okay, Matt Stafford has not been playing great this season.
Great to me.
Okay, I agree. There's no argument here between us on that. Okay. He will pad his stats though, but no, he is not a great quarterback in my opinion.
No.
with that line and with them actually being able to run. I think that's the question of will they be able to run? Um, and then airing it out, that's going to put a lot of pressure on that back half because our receivers can run. They can get open. They've been known to get open. They're sneaky fast. So being able to, have that coverage, but also being able to, put that pass rush on, like you said. Are we able to do that?
We should.
We should.
We should. But this is the Dallas Cowboys we're talking about. Like, we didn't do
That's
anything against
true.
the 49ers, but we did a little bit better job. It's a young offensive line for the Rams. Parsons should have an easy
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, young defensive line as well. So we should be run the ball as long as we don't run to number 99.
That part, because I was going to get to that. Now, Terrence still had some major penalties on him when it came to the holding and things of that nature. We thought, had
Dude, the Cowboys
we thought we saw those go away.
Well, the Cowboys are just the referees are going to throw flags on the Dallas Cowboys because they were the most penalized team for like 2 years running, and they hold, but they hold just like all the other 49ers are holding us like the same.
Yes.
But they don't call it because they're not penalized. You know what I mean? The referee just keen because they know they hold, so they're watching out for the Cow instead of these unpenalized team. But Dallas does the exact same thing other teams do. I watched all the games and I'm like, that's a hold. But yeah, we get called for it. That's the thing.
Yes.
It's not like a whiny excuse or anything. I'm just telling you that's the fact. It's the Cowboys' own fault from being penalized and the referees being openly watching that, I guess you can say. So.
Right. I say get different gloves or something like that. Get darker gloves, not the white ones, and maybe they won't call them.
Like Bill Belichick said, like if you're playing the Rams are wearing blue, get blue gloves. I can't see you.
There you go. It looks like the jersey, right?
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
That was one of Bill Belichick's major things.
yeah, but it makes sense. The other thing too, and I mean he's a defensive coach, right? But moving into this, I think Donald has he has a chip on his shoulder. A lot of people are saying, like that defense is not what it once was, which it's not. But there's still a good defense. He's still one of the best defensive linemen in the game. So wherever he lines up, whether he's in front of Martin or on the other side with one of the Smiths or whoever he's in front of, it's going to be a tough matchup. And so, one of the things I was talking about was the issue I have with Dak is the pre-snap information that he's going through his pre-snap procedures. Like, okay, I see this, I see that, and being able to dissect the play or the defense before the ball is even snapped. Because in Texas coast, if it's like the West Coast, there should be a 3, a 5, and a 7 step drop. There's been no 7.
No, they haven't got to that part yet. We can't even get the 3 or 5 yard one now, right now.
That's what
we're in week 7.
We're in week 7, 8th year in the league, and we can't do a 7-step drop.
Well, Dak can do a 7, but he has never done it in this West Coast, Texas, whatever this crap is. We're a so-called offense that we're running right now.
So why are we running it? Is the question I have.
Because Mike McCarthy wants to play to his defense and wants to run the ball more, and that's what he grew up with. But the problem is in Green Bay, he actually had a good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers to make up for that mistakes. Who can do a 7 stop? Like he can make up for the mistakes. Dak Prescott just can't do that right now. He did better last night.
Yeah.
He did a lot better. Can he build on that momentum? I kind of wish we didn't have a bye now because he got that momentum. Now he's going to be like, crap. You know what I mean? He's at home finally. It feels like we've been on the road every single game this year.
Yeah. They have, and they're sort of going to start having their homestands. But, man, I don't know. Maybe if he would have played in preseason and really, kind of worked on it in preseason, that would have been probably really good. Anyway, we can't put that Can't put that cat back in the box, right?
Nope.
All right. So yes, I'm thankful for the bye week because we can get some people healthier. Um, we can the bumps and bruises, things like that. Hopefully that line can practice more with each other. A healthy line, the power five, whatever they're kind of starting five, whatever they want to call it. Um, so I'm hoping that when we do see LA, the other team, the NFC LA, that they do come out, and I have no doubt they'll pressure Stafford. He'll make some bad throws, some bad decisions. Um, they'll be able to step in front. But I'm also fearful of that LA defense and what they could possibly do. Dak doesn't throw the ball. Why doesn't Dak throw the ball away? Have you figured that out yet?
Because he's I don't know. I yelled at my TV 5,000 times. Throw the dang ball away! Good God! Uh, like you, like whatever. I think he's just trying to live up because he's hearing the noise. He says he's not, but he's hearing all the reports. He's hearing
Yeah.
everything. He has a contract situation. He wants that extension, and he's just trying too hard right now. But if the deck that we got yesterday is there for the rest of the season, I like our chances going in the playoffs. But I'm with you. He needs to throw that ball away. I don't understand it. And there's a lot of quarterbacks who just hold the ball, and I'm like, just throw it away. There's nothing there.
Throw it away.
That play, live for the next play. Let's go.
Don't double pump, and then throw it to the guy that you double pump to. You take 5 sacks. So now it's like, oh well, the offensive line is not good. I don't think they're as bad as people are calling it. Again, you can't just hold the ball, like you said, and then you don't throw it away. So now you go from a 1st and 8, 1st and 7. Let's say you get 3 yards, to now right, or it's a 3rd and 8, or a 3rd and 9, or a 3rd and 11 because you took the sack on a 4th. It's frustrating, and I agree with you. It's frustrating. Throw the ball away. If that 1st and 2nd read is not there, throw it away. It's not whatever. It's not coming back because you're not going to run. You're not going to escape the pocket. He did it this past weekend. I mean, he did it yesterday. We'll see if he does it for the rest of the season. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Well, look, that I think that's going to be our time. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to do predictions because there's a bye week.
I think we'll be 4-2 this week.
I hope so. Dallas probably the only team that's going to lose in a bye week.
Everyone's wishing for it, but I think no. We'll be on when they do play, but we definitely had to get this out of the way just so we can get the bad taste out of the mouth of San Francisco. And it was great to have them lose. I mean, look, you can say I'm vindictive. I don't care. I want them to lose every game from this point on. That's just me. But it was good that they did lose, and especially to Cleveland. It was sweet. So sweet. But, I've got to shout out my Rangers.
I'm rooting for
my
them.
Texas Rangers. Let's go, Rangers.
Now listen. Astros are not good at home. They're very good on the road. I don't know.
They're very good. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. No, they
And what's scaring me right now is y'all's bullpen sucks. And so Scherzer's going to pitch tomorrow. He's not going to go deep.
No, our bullpen does not suck, sir. Not in this postseason. Regular season, yes.
Well, because your starters have been going 7 innings. So you just go
about 6. Yeah, about 6 2/3.
Max ain't going 6 tomorrow.
No. They're saying he's on a 7. He's probably going to be on a 70 pitch count. He's got a 70 pitch count, which means that you're probably going to see Henny will come through and he'll probably have to last maybe about 3 or 4 innings. So if you get 4 innings out of Mad Max, that's a win. That's good. I'm okay with that. You get 4 out of him, 3 out of Henny, 2 to 3 out of Henny. that puts you right back into Spores, Chapman, and Leclerc, which I just don't get why we keep putting Chapman out there. We just know.
Well, he hasn't gave up run. I mean, he makes it a roller coaster ride, doesn't he? Like,
What are you talking about? He gave up a home run yesterday. That
well,
thing was
yeah,
smoking.
yeah, but that's it. He's not giving up the 2-3 run. He almost did though.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna put you in a bad situation. That dude
he makes
just
sure he'll the bases with no outs and then get out of it too. It's like what the heck?
yeah.
That was Yankees, man. That was the Yankees with him. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. That's why they're like, you know what? Thanks.
But
No
honestly,
thanks.
your bullpen doesn't even go deep because now you're playing 3 straight days in a row because you have these 3 straight home games. So
Yeah.
so you can't use that bullpen. You won't have a rest day until 3 to 4 days.
But I think that's okay. Because what we're looking at is look, let's just get 2 games. 2 games. That's all we need. 2 games.
I think it's gonna be a like the 2000 what was it 19 Nationals versus Astros. All the road team, every road team.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It would suck. It'd be great, but it would suck.
Well, because you want to go
Because it'd be great
party
to
at
have
the
it.
new Globe stuff. You want to party at that new stadium, man.
Yeah.
You
Not
can lose
really,
one
but
at home. You
yeah.
can lose one. You can't lose 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I think it's such a big deal because the Stros did lose both of them at home. Yeah, that second one I was like, okay, yeah, we at least we got one. Let's go ahead and go home and we can close it out. But the fact that they got both of them, and yes, they don't do well at home, but again, they started creeping back in Chapman. Anytime you have Chapman in there against the Stros, you never know. You never know. So yes. Yeah. So
It's
looking
gonna be
very
rocky.
forward to
It's gonna be
it
rocky
definitely
tomorrow
will
night.
be. It definitely will be. Let's go Rangers.
At least it's a
Let's
night
go
game.
Cowboys. And this is I'm tired of these
Two,
day games. It's so
two,
stupid.
2 night games in a row for y'all.
So stupid. MLB, just come on, get it together. I'm Jay Soggs, the Buff Nerd. Let's go. And of course, that is Trey Collins. Thank you for watching and tuning in and chatting with us here at Cowboys Cutting Up. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this podcast with all your favorite friends and frenemies because you got them. They say they hate the Cowboys because they really want to be a Cowboys fan deep in their heart. Hey, look at that Yankee wearing that. Let's go, Rangers. Hey, y'all have a great night. Appreciate you. Peace.